Ever since I changed my tier list into a jungler types format and included a bracket for support junglers, I've been getting posts asking me why I didn't include X jungler in that list. There were honest questions like, why isn't Zyra or Alistar a support jungler? And some angry ones like, you're an idiot if you don't think Nautilus is a support jungler. The truth of the matter is that none of them are actually support junglers. Just because you can build them with only support items like R items and stuff, or that they can lane as a support does not automatically make them a support jungler. Support junglers are not categorized by their crowd control or by their ability to function with only R items. If those things were the only qualifications towards being considered support junglers, then most champions would be able to be support junglers by default. A champion qualifies for being a support jungler by their ability to provide artificial gold. Artificial gold is a term used to describe anything that gives your team a temporary increase of stats. It also encompasses abilities that remove stats from the enemy team. To explain this, imagine an ability that gives you as much attack speed as a dagger. Dagger is worth 400 gold, and thus the ability being used on you is similar to giving you 400 gold, even if it's only for a short while. The only stat modifier not considered as a qualifying trait are abilities that modify movement speed, since that would allow too many champions to fill the list and they're just simply slows. The exception to this is if the slow comes packed with other stat reductions, such as attack speed or armor reduction. There have been some people who have had a real issue with certain champions being on the list of support junglers. They cannot grasp the concept of artificial gold values, and thus they get mad when champions like Warwick are on the list. Warwick draws the most criticism as he's often viewed as a bruiser or a fighter or some tank of some sort. The truth of the matter is that he's actually one of the best examples of support junglers. His W gives his team almost 8,000 gold worth of stats. Pretty much, if your champion gives stats to your allies like Sever's movement speed, they could, if they could, actually clear the jungle, be considered strong support junglers. So champions that give shields, champions that heal, because those are kind of like temporary health, champions that give attack speed boost, movement speed boost, that kind of stuff, all qualify, even if the champion themselves wouldn't normally be seen in a support type role. And it's mostly just, prejudice, because you often assume support has to be something like you see in bottom lane. The fact is that a lot of champions have multiple jungler types, such as support tank or magic damage bruiser, and certain champions that you wouldn't consider support junglers can be good picks for a team lineup if the supportive features are appropriate to them. Supported qualities also work in degrees, since some junglers simply have better supporting or more qualities that can work in more team lineups than others, while some barely have any that can get them onto this list, while others have such negligible artificial gold modifiers that it is so pointless to even put them on the list, such as Vi's Armor Shred or Wukong's Q Armor Shred. It's so negligible they don't even qualify. So in short, stat modification is what makes a support jungler, while crowd control and the ability to function with aura items only are an afterthought.